I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're looking at the Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Series Omega Max Level action figure. This here is a deluxe figure from the 6-inch Jazwares line, and it's going to run you about $10 more than the standard release. This guy's $29.99, standard release is $19.99, but you can definitely see this guy comes with quite a bit more stuff, so you can kind of understand the price difference. $10 worth? We'll find out shortly. So let's talk about Omega for a second. Omega is a skin that you would earn during Season 4 by doing Battle Pass challenges and leveling up. To achieve max level Omega, you would have had to have hit level 80. And it gave you 4 different color variations when you max them out. Me personally, I don't have max level Omega. Season 4 was when I started playing, and Omega and Carbide are two of my favorite skins that are out there. Omega is definitely superior to him in my opinion. I got whatever's below max level, which is all the same armor pieces, just missing the purple or orange highlights. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see, they're pretty much the same, except one is purple, one is orange. We've got Epic Games here. It says Edit Outfit Stages, which means that you can have the different sort of levels as Omega tiers up and whatnot. Fortnite Legendary Series, ages 8+. 24 outfit pieces, Omega max level. You can see here's Omega with all his armor off, sort of the most basic stage of him. A pickaxe, an assault rifle, and a whole bunch of armor. So, go ahead and check out the package. On the side, we've got the guy posed up. On the other side, pretty much just posed up again. On the bottom, there's a barcode here, as well as a bunch of credits. Here is the barcode on the other one, if you need it. And then on the back side, you can see Omega in his most basic attire, and then with all his gear on there. And then you can see some of the other figures from Series 2. We've got Abstract, Leviathan, DJ Yonder, Valkyrie, Tomato Head, and Jonesy. I've got the majority of these guys. Haven't even seen a picture of Valkyrie in action figure form yet. I got the Amazon exclusive Abstract, and I feel like there's going to be a standard release Abstract later, but I'm really not certain of that. And there's also a Walmart exclusive Crackshot figure now available. Need to get those couple guys, and then my Series 2 will be complete. So with no further ado, let's open these guys up. We'll see how they compare with other Jazwares figures, and we'll see how they compare with the McFarlane Omega. See which one's better. Alright, well now that we got these guys out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out, and boy, there's an endless amount of armor pieces in there. They've went so far to give you an instruction manual that shows you all the armor pieces, tells you his pickaxe and weapon, and then how to assemble all them, and honestly, looks a little bit more complicated than I thought. So, before we check out the accessories and attach the armor pieces, let's check out the actual figure. Here's the purple version of Omega. The orange one's really no different. This is him in his most basic look when you'd first earn the skin before you'd start leveling it up and etc. Pretty basic. I mean, he's got some, muscle sculpted on. I see all kind of peg holes where you can attach pieces. He looks kind of cool without the armor. I like his face. Definitely kind of unique looking, but he's going to look even better with the armor, just like he does in the game. And then here's an up-close look at both the purple and orange versions, completely unarmored, before I start putting their armor pieces on one by one. And then here they are with their shin armor attached. There's a piece that goes on both the front and the back, and the front one seems to overlap on top of the back one. And then here he is with his knee pads attached, as you can see here. And then here they are with their upper leg parts attached. As you can see, it's got both a front side and it's got a back side that sort of wrap around each other, fit into place like puzzle pieces. And here they are with their crotch, chest, and ab pieces attached. There are actually 4 different pieces here. One here, one here, one here, and one here. kind of like Iron Man, slowly putting his suit together. And then here he is with his next set of armor pieces. These ones are on his forearm area. As you can see, both the outside and the inside, and they overlap and connect, look pretty good. And then with his, I guess you'd call them elbow blades attached. This guy's really starting to take some form now. And then here they are with their bicep armor attached. Fits into place up there. And most of the armor, I've noticed, doesn't interfere with the articulation. And then here they are with their armor fully attached, their helmets on. Save the best part for last. Looking pretty nice. I like the texture on the armor. I like the mask quite a bit as well. There's texture all over this thing. It looks pretty nice. And you can see orange guy, same thing, just orange highlights. Really digging that texture though. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at them in both their unarmored and armored up look, next is at the other accessories the set has to offer. They both come with the same pickaxe or harvesting tool. This is called the Onslaught. And then they both come with a legendary assault rifle, commonly known as a Scar. And here they are holding their Onslaught pickaxes, getting ready to do some farming, gain materials. And then here's Omega walking down the street. Of course, here he is. He hears a noise, so he just has to chop his way through. And as he gets through the brick wall, finds out there's a chest back there making all that noise. And then as he opens the chest, he's got some pretty good loot. I see a legendary Scar, a Rift to Go, and a med kit. And then here are these two Jazwares Onslaught pickaxes on the sides, compared with the McFarlane version in the middle. As you can see, it's a little bit larger, and the detail is definitely a little bit nicer on that one. See, the color's a little more vibrant. I mean, they're both pretty nice, but McFarlane one wins in most situations. And then here's this Onslaught pickaxe compared with all the other Jazwares pickaxes they've released so far. We've got a total of 12 of them, and there's more on the way. And then here are all the different pickaxes they've released between Jazwares and the McFarlane collection. And I'm pleased to say these are all interchangeable between the two lines. And then here are several of the different Jazwares figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing that they are interchangeable between each character. Each pickaxe works for each figure. And then here are some McFarlane figures holding the Jazwares pickaxes, and some Jazwares figures holding McFarlane pickaxes, showing that they're customizable and interchangeable between the two different lines, giving you a lot of different display options for your figure, just like your character in the game. So this Omega here does not come with a back bling at all, which is a little bit disappointing considering how much it costs. You'd think you'd have a back bling and a whole bunch of other accessories too. He's the first Jazwares figure not to include one. He does have that peg hole in the back, but I will say when his armor is attached, you're not going to get much success putting a back bling on there. I took this one here. You know what? It works out okay, and actually looks pretty good with his armor. But I took this other back bling here from the Visitor, and the peg is not quite as long, and honestly it just doesn't really go in there with his armor sticking out. Sure, if his armor's off, he can fit any back bling, but he's a little bit restricted with his armor on. Although I must say, this one here looks pretty nice. And next, let's look at their gun. Each one of these guys both came with a legendary Scar, as you can see below. This is arguably one of the best guns in the game. It's a pretty nice assault rifle. Here they are, both holding their Scar. As you can see, they can hold it in their right hand or their left hand. This guy here, I prefer to hold it in his right hand and have his left hand supporting the barrel. But with the extra armor, it kind of limits some of the articulation. You can't get the bicep cut to go all the way around, and you really just can't get those hands to meet up like with the unarmored version. And this is not the first time that Jazwares has released a Scar. These two are from the Omega, and these two are from Visitor and DJ Yonder. Identical accessories. And here they are with a couple of McFarlane scars. Once again, almost identically sized and works great for either line. And then here it is next to a couple of other versions of the assault rifle. On the top left, we've got the Scar. Below that, the standard assault rifle. On the top right, we've got the burst assault rifle. And on the bottom right, we've got the suppressed assault rifle. And then here are all the different guns that Jazwares has released so far. And then here are all the guns that have been released between Jazwares and McFarlane, not including the weapons that both companies have released. And here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's weapons, showing that each figure, each weapon, works every time. And then here are some McFarlane figures holding some Jazwares weapons, and Jazwares figures holding McFarlane weapons, showing that pretty much any of the McFarlane and Jazwares figures can use any of the weapons. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at their accessories, next I'd like to see how they fit with the McFarlane glider and the McFarlane quad crasher. Here they are next to the two different gliders. So far they're scaling up pretty nicely. And then here they are using the launch pad portion of the glider set. Looking pretty good, getting ready to jump out of a sticky situation. And I would say yes, he does work with the McFarlane glider. As you can see here he is gliding, getting ready to be deployed. And there's his buddy, the other Omega back there, doing the same thing. How can you have a Fortnite game with no glider? And then next, how does he work with the quad crasher? Well, he fits in pretty good. It may be a little bit larger than it should be compared to him, but he can sit there, he can grip the handlebars, his feet are on the pedals, and then he can also stand in the back with his weapon out, and the pegs fit into their footholes, so they fit in there very sturdy. Next, let's check him out with a couple of other accessories that I like to use to enhance my Fortnite figures. Here they are in a shopping cart war. Two duos against two duos, charging each other, trying to take each other out while in carts. And here they are trying to watch each other's back as they heal up with a campfire. This campfire I got with a NECA Friday the 13th Jason figure, and realized it was absolutely perfect for these Fortnite figures. And then here are a bunch of other Jazwares accessories that would be great for these guys. We've got a Rift to Go, balloon, clinger, boogie bomb, grenade, all kind of healing and shield potions. Pretty nice stuff to enhance your figures. Now that we've taken a very good look at their accessories, next let's check out the height of this figure. I went ahead and took the armor off of one of them for the next two scenes. So Omega with the armor on is sitting at about 6.25 inches. And with the armor off, about 6.0 inches. Next, let's check out his articulation. Let's start with the one with no armor. So his head can move from side to side, can look up and down, really quite a bit actually, which is pretty cool. Shoulders on a ball joint, they can go about that far, which is way more 90 degrees. You can see there's a ball joint inside of here, but there's also a little bit of extra articulation here between the ball joint and the chest. You can see he can kind of go in and out. I think it's a butterfly joint. Below that, he's got a bicep cut, double jointed elbows. They can go all the way in. His wrist can swivel around, and it's hinged as well. He's got ab articulation here. Doesn't really swivel around too much, but it can go forward and back a lot as well. Traditional waist swivel below that. His legs go out full 90 degrees, no problem. Got a little ball joint inside of there. Go forward about that far, back not at all. He's got a thigh cut below that. Double joint knees below that. Then his foot, it can rotate around. It can go up and down a little bit. And he has some toe articulation too. So with the armored guy, I noticed they did a pretty good job of not interfering with the articulation. His head can go from side to side. It can go up and down a pretty nice amount. His shoulders can still pretty much go all the way out there. A little bit tight right there. His double jointed elbows still work fine. His wrist still works fine. His ab crunch, you can't use it as much or it will pop off some of these armor pieces if you really push in too hard. That one will kind of come off. but it can still swivel around and do at least a little bit of articulation, more than I would expect. His legs are really not interfered at all. His knees are just fine, so it really doesn't hinder his articulation too much. A couple of comments about the armor: move around a bunch, his elbows can come off fairly easily, and this part here, if you push down or rotate around, it will pop off. Next, let's compare them with some other action figures, starting off with some other Fortnite figures. Starting off with max level McFarlane Omega. So they went with the orange color scheme, and you can see their heads similar. I must say the texture is a little bit more prominent on the Jazwares, but it's there. It's a little more subtle on the McFarlane figure. McFarlane pretty much wins every time with detail, but this guy's pretty well done as well. I will say McFarlane's a little bit sturdier when handling him. None of the armor pieces will pop off, etc., etc. He does have the same knee pads, elbow pads, back pieces. He's got all the same details as this guy, just not removable. Overall, both some pretty nice figures. I think I'm probably going to have to go with McFarlane on this one. This guy does have some limits on his articulation because of the armor. His armor is nice, but it also, some pieces do pop off fairly easily. I also like to scale this guy a little better. And then here are these Omegas next to the entire Series 2 of the Jazwares Fortnite collection. There are some figures still to be released, one being Valkyrie, and I think there's going to be a variant version of Abstract, or at least this is the variant version. This was an Amazon.com exclusive, and I've seen Abstract listed elsewhere, so I'm assuming there's another release, but I'm not sure about that. There's also a Walmart exclusive Crackshot. So when all those come out, Series 2 will be complete. And then here they are next to the Series 1 lineup of Jazwares figures. And then here they are next to my entire Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Collection. You may wonder why I have so many multiples. I got a few Rabbit Raiders for Mad Hatter Thugs, my Batman world. I got Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Thugs, my Batman world. And I got all 4 different faceplates to be displayed at the same time. On the wild cards, I use them as my Royal Flush Gang in my DC Batman world. And here they are next to all the McFarlane Fortnite figures. This is one of each of the figures they've released so far. And here they are next to my entire McFarlane and Jazwares Fortnite collection. Once again, I got the wild cards for Royal Flush Gang in my DC Batman world, Rabbit Raiders for Mad Hatter Henchmen, and Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Thugs. And then here they are in a huge battle royale with all of my Fortnite figures. Everyone trying to shoot each other, get loot, get kills, get the win. As you can see, they're driving around, trying to explode each other. They're up there, they're healing, they're gliding, they're getting loot. They're all trying to kill each other so you can get the highest kill count and see who can get the win. Next, let's check these guys out compared with some other action figure lines, in case you want to mix them to see how they fit in both scale and style wise. And here they are next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Here they are next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends figures. And here they are next to some Mafex figures. Here they are next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. Here they are next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And here they are next to some NECA action figures. And here they are next to some McFarlane Toys action figures. And here they are next to some DST or Diamond Select Toys action figures. So all in all, these are some pretty nice figures. These are some of the better figures that Jazwares has made. I do like the texture and sculpt on these guys. Some things I don't like. The way the armor can sort of pop off on occasion, especially on the elbows and the sort of stomach area. Also, the fact that we've already gotten an Omega for McFarlane made this a little bit less impactful for me. But it's really cool, all the different numerous options you can do with these guys. If I were to rate these figures, I'd go ahead and give them probably a 7 out of 10. Like I said, in the better half of the Jazwares figures, that's for sure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.